Good afternoon from Sacred Space. I've just got home from having a coffee at my local kiosk at Whites Hill, Amanda's little coffee shop, little coffee kiosk, because Beauregard wanted to go. That was his reward for being a very good boy. He had a bath this morning and he had a brush, and he hates being brushed, and the whole time I was brushing him it was and 2 schmackos later I said, "You've been a very good boy, Beauregard. We're going to go and have a coffee at Amanda." And also I felt like getting out of the house. It's good to get out of the house. So we've had a very beautiful couple of days. The weather's absolutely gorgeous, and as usual, I don't know if you can see him, I've got a kookaburra visitor to the garden surveying Charlie. He just arrived, and which is a sign. And yes, so I wanted to tell you the funny story about what happened yesterday. So once a month I attend West End Drumming Circle, and I usually take Beauregard, and I was hesitant to take him yesterday because he can be quite naughty and snarly at all the other dogs walking past along the river there. But anyway, I took him along because, well, he asked. I said, "Do you want to go to drumming?" And he said, "Yes." And I was like, "You have to be a very good boy because you're always naughty when we go to drumming." He was like, "I'll try to be good, I promise." Of course, this all happened like, non-verbally and not necessarily in English. So anyway, telepathy, people, telepathy. So anyway, I took him along to drumming, and we got there, and only a few people came along. And there was a very nice lady came along with her little dog, and he was a little boy, and I expected Beauregard to be quite nasty actually, but he wasn't. He was very good. But the reason why he was so good, weren't you, Beauregard, was he was distracted by the incredible pheromonal energy of little Ivy, the little Belgian Griffon, who happened to be in season. So while I'm trying to bang my drum, Beauregard spent the entire time trying to make sweet love doggy style to little Ivy, who didn't really mind at all because she's in season. But the problem is Beauregard is desexed, and I am the mother of a lecture because even though he's desexed, he still kept trying. He was very committed to trying. He was very enthusiastic. So I spent the entire time banging on my drum and reefing him back with my left hand. So yes, it was quite arduous. Anyway, he's a very tired doggy today, aren't you, Beauregard? He's been quite well stimulated, and he's quite worn out. But he's a happy lad. As I said to somebody at coffee this morning, I said, "My dog is a real boy. He's not Pinocchio. He's a real boy dog." And also a bit of a sex pest. So there is that. Can't win them all, can we? Anyway, on the other note, excuse me, I'm on day 9 of drinking mullein tea. So my lungs are somewhat improved, although I feel very fatigued. So I had to Google it, and apparently it's a mild narcotic, which explains why I'm very tired. But apart from the occasional, coughing spasms, which are interesting is usually when I talk about it or think about it, a bit psychosomatic that, I'm a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm not coughing all day long and, praying for death, which was starting to look like a viable alternative. So I'm a bit happy about that. Anyway, when I was at coffee this morning, just before, I saw an acquaintance there who regularly has coffee named Robert. And Robert informed me he's a very nice man, he's a gentleman, he's a married man, very lovely person, very nice friend. Anyway, very nice man. So he was telling me that he's been going to the local cancer ward every day for the last 6 weeks with his father-in-law, who's 96 and is fighting advanced skin cancer. And I said to him, oh, that's serious. I said, my uncle died of advanced skin cancer at 96 too. Actually, thinking about it, I think my uncle was 97, but oh well, 1 year. Won't split hairs over that. Anyway, he said he's going down there. It takes him four hours out of his day every day, driving to pick up his father-in-law, and then at the hospital, and then back again. It's quite exhausting. He says, but I like to come in, he said, because it's such a difficult job for all the staff, you know, watching people trying not to die, trying to heal their cancers. He said that I come in each day and I try and tell them a joke each day. So anyway, I thought that was lovely. And of course, in true Tanya style, I burbled on about, you know, I told him about going to the market for the first time and all the weird spiritual stuff that happened there. And burbled on as I do, rambling. Anyway, after I finished the coffee, I came home and I thought about it. Because I said to Robert, I said, oh, I've got some joke books at home that I bought at Lifeline. I haven't even read them. And I said, I'll give them to you so you can read a joke every day and get a joke each day and get some more inspiration from the joke books. And I said, I'll give them to you to take up to the hospital and tell jokes with. And he said, oh, thanks, Tanya. Anyway, immediately when I got home, thought, I better not wait too long, because if I wait too long, you know, he might not be going there anymore. His father-in-law, you know, hopefully is getting better, and he won't be down that hospital every day. So I thought I better give him the books ASAP so he can put them to good use while he's still in that time zone and that experience of being at that hospital every day. And so I thought it's a lovely thing to do, and people do the most lovely things for me, so pay it forward, right? So I got home, I gathered up the books, 2 of them, and drove straight back and dropped them off at Amanda's. So she was thrilled. And there was a very nice man there that I was chatting to before I came home, who had just been to Burning Man. So that was interesting too. So I've had a lovely day, and yes, it's like I'm feeling very much in the flow of abundance and happiness and bliss and peace and sharing, which is how the universe is meant to work anyway. And I'm also waiting patiently, and I hope this person's genuine and not a time waster, because they put it off until Thursday, for someone to buy my lawnmower, which I bought in February in good faith and good intentions that I was going to mow my own lawns every week. And I really wanted to be independent and be able to mow my own lawns, which was why I invested in this very expensive lawnmower. And then discovered very quickly after 2 mows that I can't do it, because my lungs are just I don't have the lung capacity anymore to do my yard. And I get help now from the government to do the mowing, but it takes 2 men to mow my yard, so no wonder I struggled. 2 strong men have to do my yard to get it in order. So here I was thinking that I was going to be some kind of modern day Baudelaire type heroine, and no, it nearly killed me each time. So finally, after I bought it in February, so it's been 6 months, I thought it was time to move the energy on, sell the lawnmower. Anyway, the man said he would come Sunday, and then he said, no, I forgot, I've got a family do on, I can't come. And now he says he'll come Thursday. So I'm hoping that he does come and buys the thing so that I can put that money towards buying equipment for my silversmithing journey, or at least put the money aside as a buffer, whichever comes first, whatever I decide once the money comes. So we have to manifest this, my darlings, because I'm so tired of being stony broke, and I need to get my little hobby sideline business happening in a far out way, so I can make a little bit extra money, pocket money each month, and not be, struggling quite so badly, especially with buying food and basics, which has been a bit frightening. and a bit vulnerable making as well. So there is that. But anyway, what the gods decree, the gods decree. As I said to you in a video the other day, I had this wonderful gift from a kind lady that paid for my hairdo, and of course one can't rely on that happening all the time. That was just a wonderful gift, but I have to find a way to be a little bit more independent fiscally. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but anyway, I'll just keep going with my making little bits of silver rings and things when I can afford to buy silver cutlery, and I'll persevere. And I plan to go back to the markets for a second time on the 9th of October. So I'm planning for that. And as I discussed with Robert, who's an accountant and used to advising business people, he said, well, you know, once you start going regularly, you build a brand and people get to know you. And he said, you might find you get, you know, a regular clientele, which would be lovely. And anyway, it was lovely of him to encourage me and motivate me, because coming from my abusive background, it's very hard for me to gain confidence and try new things, and especially when it comes to trying to start, you know, a little bit of a business again. It seems like an impossible dream, and yet I'm dreaming it because I made the effort to go to the markets, and that's the start. That's the start of something. Don't know what, but it's a start. So I'm very contented and happy about that. And of course I need to keep manifesting and making things. So time will tell where it leads. I mean, I'm on a journey, aren't I? I'm on a journey. So yeah, but anyway, Beauregard. Say hello to the people, Beauregard. He's watching the kookaburra. And the kookaburra's watching us with great interest. I bought him a little bell, but he hasn't clicked on that the bell's there. Oh well, he will. He rang the bell a few weeks ago, and I took that as a sign from Spirit that my little wild cookie was ringing bells. So look, you know, all in all, in spite of everything, in spite of my struggles to exist in subsistence level on the disability pension, and my struggles to try and get myself a little bit more established, I'm happy and contented in my garden, in my sacred space, with my beautiful birds and pet bird, Charlie, and almost a pet kookaburra now, and my dog. Stop fixating on the birdie. Don't chase the cookie. Don't chase him, Bobo. He's part of our landscape here. No, bad dog, bad dog. Cookie thinks you're a bad dog too. Look how cute they are, really. He's perfectly safe because he can fly away, so that's okay. So what else have I to tell you? Yeah, the mullein tea, thank you to the advice from Jim in America, is working. But yeah, I feel quite emotionally quite restless and then kind of tired at the same time. So it's doing lots to my energy meridians, which has been interesting. And yeah, there was something else I wanted to tell you all about. I'm trying to think what it was. The Man from Burning Man? No, it wasn't that. Oh yes, it was a while I was at the coffee shop at Amanda's little coffee kiosk, there was a young mother with two little kiddies, and the little girl already had her arm in a sling. Anyway, I didn't see it happen. I heard the thud. The three of them fell over, and the little girl hit her head on the side of this post there. So I actually jumped up, left my handbag behind. I figured Amanda was there to watch, and I ran over, and the little girl had tripped her mum up, and they'd both fallen. They'd all fallen, but the little boy was all right. The little girl smacked her head, so I was quite upset about that, actually. And so I asked Amanda for some ice, and she kindly put some in a plastic bag, and so we put that on the little girl's head. Anyway, after all that kerfuffle, you know, the mother was crying with shock, you know, and I said, I think she's all right, but so you have to keep an eye on her in case she gets concussion. Anyway, there was another lady sitting having coffee, and she later on told me that she's a nurse, and it was so funny. She was so detached from the whole thing. She didn't rush to help or anything. Nurses are weird like that. I had a friend who was a forensic nurse that said if anyone faints in front of her, she's not going to give them CPR because it's not her problem. She's off duty. And I remember thinking, how very hard and callow and cruel. So it seems to be a thing with nurses that when they're off duty, they don't get involved in anything, which is a bit scary. Anyway, so the nurse told me that she's been working for nearly 50 years. She's got just under 2 more years to go, and then she's going to retire. So I said to her, that's a very long working life. That's a long time. And I thought it was actually quite odd how detached she was. And then she kind of said, I hope the little girl's all right. And I'm thinking, well, you're a nurse. You know, could have checked her over a little bit. But anyway, not my monkey, not my circus. The little girl seemed to be all right. But she'd actually broken her collarbone a few weeks ago, falling off the couch. So I said to the little girl, oh, you're a wounded soldier in the wars. I said, that's 2 things tapping on our head. There better not be any more. Anyway, the mother came out with the little kiddies after they'd been in Woolies, and she bought her a little balloon, brightened her day. She was a very nice woman, actually, very sweet mother. And she said to me, oh, thank you for helping. You were so kind. Can I buy you a coffee? And I said to her, no, darling, you don't need to buy me a coffee. I said, I'm only too happy to help. I said, you know, when you're a mother, I said, you've got a lot on your plate. And I said, we've all gone through this with our kids. And I said, so no, you don't feel obliged to buy me a coffee. I said, you just look after yourself and your little ones. And she was very grateful, very sweet woman. And then another lady who'd seen it occur as well came over a bit after and also thanked me. And I'm thinking, why is everyone thanking me? I didn't actually do anything. I just rushed over and said to Amanda, we need ice. So, I mean, you know, it was actually quite cute, you know, that everyone thought I was the person that was the helper, really, and all I did was just make an executive decision that we need ice. So anyway, but it's nice that people saw that I cared and that I was concerned, and you know what? It's not about money and making money. It's like I was telling Robert about this negative experience I had at the markets with this awful father that's playing on my mind a little bit because it triggered me and reminded me of my own childhood, actually, just why I got quite upset. And I said to Robert, you know, I said, I had such a desperate urge to be at this market. I said, I've had no interest in going to the markets in 30 years. It's my first time in 30 years, right? And I said, but I've been making this jewellery and trying so hard and working so hard at it and collecting things. And I thought, I've got to try and sell it. Like, what good is it sitting here? Like, you know, it's just crazy. Like, I've got to push myself out in the world. And I said I was really proud of myself, Robert, for pushing myself out in the world, even though it scares me, really. And I explained to him how that weird thing happened with that man and his little boy and how awful he was to his little boy and how distressing it was. But I said to Robert, then it occurred to me, I said, that's why I was almost under this intense urge to be at the markets. I said, it wasn't about making money with my little Titania's Realm, you know, fairy-inspired business at all. I said it was about the spiritual side of it. Was I had to be there to go into grandmother mode, to give the little boy a direct message from the multiverses that he was valued and loved, and telling him he's a good little boy. I said it was never about making money or a business anyway. It was my first time at the market, so, you know, that was an interesting introduction to my new venture. So, and Robert agreed with me. He said, yes, that was important, what you said to that little boy. He said, because he probably does need to hear that, plant the seed and be told that he has worth. He said, because when you're raised like that, you know, it's very debilitating. And I said, I know, it's why I've never been able to thrive in 57 years of living on this planet. And on another note, here's my little bird. Can you see her? Having a bath. She's having a wonderful bath and having a lovely day. So that's my video today from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm, Brisbane, Australia, Southern Hemisphere, planet Earth, third blue planet from the Sun in the Milky Way galaxy. You know where to find us, holy ones, extraterrestrials, gods, angels, and other entities of love, light and truth. And may we continue to be blessed in our little undertakings, big and small, and may we have shalom. So that's my crazy video for the day, and yes, talk to you soon. Love from Sacred Space. Bye for now.